Good morning, friends and family. Rise and shine. So, I want to talk to you about being the underdog. It seems like my whole life I have been considered to be an underdog. Most of the time, people underestimate me. I remember watching film in high school. I was 5'9", 180 pounds. And, there's some guys that were huge. I mean, my quarterback was a half a foot taller than me, Jack Dollarhide. A lot of guys were a lot bigger than I was. I just remember, seeing film and looking at how small I was relative to a lot of the other guys on the field. And I remember other players being very frustrated with me because I was small, but I happened to be, well, let's just call it what it is. I happened to be meaner than a lot of those guys were. I was willing to put it on the line, right? I know that throughout my life and throughout the many different jobs that I've had, I have not been at one place my whole life. I've had, I don't even know how many jobs. And now I am finding myself going back to something that I used to do. I guess the reason that I'm making this video this morning is because I want to encourage you that if you're the underdog, that is a good place to be. It's good to be underestimated because your upside is so big. If you do nothing, then you've done what it is that they expected you to do. If you just do something, that's more than what was expected. And then if you do something great, well, then you completely shatter all expectations. And that's the part that I enjoy. I love just shattering expectations. Not everybody celebrates with you when you win, right? There are a lot of people out there who like to celebrate when they see other people lose because, let's face it, misery does love company. There are a lot of sayings that we had when we were young that are bull crap, like sticks and stones may break your bones, but words may never hurt you. That is the biggest bunch of nonsense I've ever heard. And there are tons of those types of sayings that we have memorized that are just burnt into our minds that are so bad for our psyche, so bad for our health, both mental health and physical health. What I want to do is I want to encourage you that if you're an underdog, and maybe you're not competing against anyone, but maybe, just maybe, you are looking at yourself. You are thinking so little of yourself. You are thinking, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, or I don't know if I can do that. See, I think that a lot of times we look at where it is we want to be and where it is that we are, and we see that the gap is so big that we don't ever actually take any steps to get there because we feel like that it's too big of a distance to cover. And that's just exactly what the enemy would have you do. Fear will either motivate you to move or it'll cause you to freeze up. And unfortunately for most people, it will cause them to freeze up. Fear causes me to move. What I do is whenever I see that gap, or I just want to close the gap, take victory in small progress. Understand that any progress is still progress. One foot in front of the other, one step at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? Can't choke down the whole thing in one bite. If you have a big goal or if you have a long distance to cover, understand that you have to take the first step for the journey to begin. As long as you're just sitting there, nothing's happening. And so I just want to encourage you today, take that first step. Take the first step. Make up your mind that you're going to take that step. Maybe it's about exercise. And you're like, I don't have the money to pay for a gym membership. You don't have to have a gym membership. Look, you can go for a walk, right? You can fill up your pockets full of change and go for a walk. Add some resistance to it. There are so many things that we can do if we are creative and resourceful. You don't have a resource problem. You have a resourcefulness problem. I just want to encourage you. I want to encourage those of you out there who feel like that you're struggling and you can't cover enough ground quick enough to get started. Get started today, not tomorrow. Tomorrow will never come. It has to be today. I hope that you're blessed by this message. I hope that you're inspired to move. I hope that you're inspired to pursue something. God bless you guys. I'll see you again soon.